everybody, Jen here. Just stopping on to give you an update. Haven't been on in a while. A lot of crazy things going on. I'll wait a couple minutes. I know it's Saturday, December 28th. We're like, next Wednesday is New Year's. Crazy, guys. 2020. Woohoo! Ringing in the new year. It'll be quite a different new year. Alright. I'm going to make this sweet and simple. This is an update about Mom's recent declining health. Okay, since I haven't been on, there's been a lot going on. So, first, I came home Monday night, this past Monday, from working, and Mom was very irate. She was upset that she was in bed all day. Hey, John. She was, hey, Chris. She was just not, she was yelling at the aide, Pearl, our family friend, and different things, so she was just all in a weird tizzy. So then I called the nurse from hospice, because we've had her in hospice for the last month, because she doesn't want to go in the hospital with any complications to anything, so we're like, okay, the next move is to get hospice, in here. And she fell a couple times. Hey, Julie. And she hurt herself a couple times. So we've been managing her pain meds at home up until Tuesday, with, like, she was on morphine for a while, and then the morphine was making her kind of delirious in bed, and then they just changed it up to Dilaudid, low-dose Dilaudid and stuff. And it was working, but it had to be every 4 hours or every 3 hours. And then since I'm here and I'm upstairs, I didn't have the ability, or we didn't have people here to watch her overnight. So apparently she was using the commode, because we got a commode for her, because she was too weak to go to the bathroom on her own without any help. And during the night, I'm trying to sleep because I'm still working at my part-time job and trying to do everything else. Hey, John. And so she fell Tuesday morning, I should say. And basically, Gramp came and got me up to the stairs with carrying his urinary bag, luckily, and stuff. And he just said to me that she needed pain meds. She was asking for pain meds. So when I went down in the back room, I did not expect her to be on the floor the way she was. And she was half out of it. I think what happened was she didn't want to go number 2 in the porta potty next to her, and she was thinking that she could go make it to the bathroom, but she's so weak with her legs, so she fell. So, luckily, I got her into bed, and that was a big fiasco, in and of itself, because I did not realize she was so heavy and dead weight. So I managed to get her in there, and then, I called the hospice hotline, and they said they'd have a nurse come over. Hey, Catherine. So a nurse came over, and then the main nurse from the hotline, Cassandra, came over after that in the morning at like 9:30 and said she needs this medicine. So I gave her the Dilaudid from before, or some other medicine. I mean, she's been on so many other different things, it was weird. And I had to go to work that day. So she said, these are going to be into the doctor's office and CVS. And I went and picked them up. I had to leave work and bring them home for her to get the first dose. And then that was Monday in between work. And then Monday night was when she actually was working good on the pills and she was like, okay. But then Tuesday night is when she fell. So the medicine made her kind of delirious. So when the nurse came Tuesday morning, Cassandra, she's like, she's seeing things are not good, we need to take her into the hospice facility over on Como Park here in New York State, near Buffalo. So they did that, and I guess she started deteriorating a little bit. She rallied a couple times, and right now she's in between periods of medication and sleep-induced medication for dealing with pain. We're waiting the weekend out because we don't know if she's going to rally and stay good, or if she's going to continue to deteriorate, rally a little bit, deteriorate, rally a little bit, and never getting up to that previous rally point, and then kind of go up and down until she just decides to pass. Hey, Mary. So right now, she's over there, and I guess what the guy said, the nurse that he had her when I went in Tuesday night, was that she was almost non-responsive on Tuesday night into Wednesday. They put her on some catheters and things like that, intravenous stuff. She got better, realized they were in her, and then was like, no, I don't want all this stuff in me. So they took them all out, and then they started doing the oral pain meds. Oh, it's okay, John. See, it doesn't show that I cut off here. It's probably the internet. I'm trying to do it live, and lives are weird. But basically right now, Mom is in between being managed with pain pills orally and being managed by the other. So if she decides to start going non-responsive to the point where she can't say that she's in pain, and they'll look for body language, and then they'll give her the pain meds that way, or they'll put intravenous in again if that's the need be. But we're trying to figure out whether or not she's going to need that because she's denying it. So we don't know if we should put that in and have her do that again, only to say no, to prolong the life and see what is working and what's not working. We still don't know why she's got the pain. Somehow it's probably from her falling. We don't know if it's more complications or that. Unfortunately, it happened during the holidays, so there's not a lot of people on hand for answers. We're having a meeting, me, my brother, and my aunt, about Mom this coming Monday. And of course, it's always when I'm working. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they just decide to want to do that, not on Tuesday, Thursdays. But because it's a holiday, that's probably why. So basically, sorry, my cat's sitting on stuff and behind me. She's being maintained, so to speak. I go in to see her, and she goes into like a sleep-induced pain-induced, whatever it's called. And then she'll come out of it. Now, because she denied the other stuff, they have to watch her and only give her the meds if she asks for it, if she's in pain that way. So that's when she's more awake, is when she's like, okay, I'm in pain, I need medicine. But she's not awake like I am with you right now. She's still trying to figure out what she remembers, because when she was having all those falls and stuff, she was half delirious. Hold on a second. No, you're not going on my crystals. Ugh. My cat wants to go on my crystals. And so she's trying to fit the pieces together, and they're not going to, because while she fell, she was in a sleep-induced, sleepwalking thing, so she's trying to figure all that out. And last night when the other aide that we had, Kathy, went over, she had me talk to Mom on the phone, and Mom wasn't really understanding. She didn't remember me being there yesterday. She's thinking Kathy's the only one there, because Kathy's there when she wakes up, kind of, but then I don't know if she's going to retain it later on. Kathy told her what was going on yesterday. My older brother, the day before, went in. He went in yesterday as well to explain it to her, and she's not retaining it. So we don't know if this is just what they called acute dementia, acute delirium is what she went in for. We don't know if this is just exasperated by the pain she's in, but because maybe she broke a rib, maybe she fractured her tailbone when she fell the one time on her butt. It's just all very up in the air. So the other thing is, we don't know if she seems to be doing better on the intravenous stuff, but because she doesn't want any of that, and she now can't go to the bathroom on her own, she has to be, two people have to assist her to the bathroom, I guess, because she's so weak. We don't know if going forward, if she doesn't want the rest of that stuff to help her out, to have the catheter in and all that for the time being, if she doesn't want that, she'll probably just start deteriorating anyways. So it's all kind of just up in the air right now. Gramps here at home, he's trying to deal with it. He hasn't seen her. We don't want him going into seeing her like that, because she's really, hey, Mary. Other Mary. Got two Marys on here, Mary and Mary C. She basically, we don't really know. We were told that if this is acute delirium, she's probably going to need a lot more help, and they're advising it wouldn't be feasible for her to come back here. So placement in a facility like a nursing home or something like that would be more feasible. If that goes forward, which more than likely it will have to be if she decides to rally and stay, within the normal, like, ranges and she gets better to a plateau, they'll discharge her and we'll have to place her. So, but right now it's still all up in the air because she'll act like she's really good and she's like, okay, but she's not 100% with it. But she's so gaunt and so, like, thin, and she ate a little bit, I guess, yesterday or the day before, but she's not eating a lot. It's like when you have the flu and you don't eat a lot and you get really weak, but she's really gray. And we've heard numerous people are saying that basically it's more or less the stages of eventual decline. So going forward, I mean, she is 91. We knew this was about to happen at some point. It just, yes, we have a 100% chance of death, no matter who we are. Exactly, John. But right now, it's pretty much, like I said, it's during the holiday. We don't really know 100% what's going on. I'd like them to figure out whether or not her pain is necessarily due to broken bones and things like that, because usually if it's broken bones, or at least fractured bones, it takes about 6 weeks to get it healed. And that would probably explain why all of a sudden, within the week of the 16th to the 20th, she either fell or she had a severe breathing panic attack, at least 3 days out of the 5. So, there's a lot of different things playing, and going into this whole thing. So it's just kind of like a waiting game. I mean, it's up to her. Our views would be if she would just let go and pass peacefully. She's had a great life. She's done that. She's still holding on. She still thinks Gramps needs to be fed and stuff like that, which I was telling her when she was still here that I'm taking care of Gramp. It's okay. But for some odd reason, she's got this thing in her head where she thinks that he's not going to be taken care of or something. At least she got to see my younger brother, Eric, before all this pretty much exasperated the situation. And so Eric came in, talked to her a little bit. She was actually that was the last time she was actually fully with it enough to talk to him for a little bit. And that was, I believe, the 21st when it was Carolcade here in East Aurora. But then after that, she pretty much started going downhill. The pain meds weren't managing her pain here. And then she would go into fits where she'd be in bed and just kind of like looks like she's knitting, or like kind of getting up and not knowing where she was. And it was just, I've been getting about 3 to 4 hours of sleep a week, or a night. See, I'm all bleh. So I'm like trying to function, and if I haven't been on Facebook a while, this is what's going on. Because I've been going over there doing my part-time job and trying to figure out all these different things still at the same time. So right now that's what's going on. Pearl's been a big help. Kathy's been a big help too. Right now Kathy can't come back over because Gramps not certified as being in senior services, like Mom was. So until he's covered for it, which would probably not until after the new year, then Kathy won't be able to come back because she's not under him, she's under Mom. So Tuesdays, Thursdays right now, I have to be around because Gramp is going into these fits where if he doesn't see me and he's awake, he gets really upset. Pearl was here last night when I was going to work. I went to work because I had credit for 4 hours, so I went for only 3. And he was getting fidgety and was wondering where I was. And he's usually fine. He usually knows. So this is kind of interesting. We did get the hospice bed in the back room for Mom. More than likely, she's not going to return home. So more than likely, if that's the case, Gramps probably going to deteriorate to the point where if we can get him to see her, he might not be as bad. But if he can't see her and things like that, he'll probably just give up, which is what he did one time when she went into rehab for pneumonia about 3 or 4 years ago now, and he stopped eating for like 3 days. But at that point, that's one reason why we also have the hospice bed in case he needs it, because I guess legally, if someone becomes bedridden, they have to have 24-hour service through New York State for protective of senior citizen rights. So either way, that would have to happen, or they would have to be placed, or something like that. So these are all things that we're trying to figure out. It's a lot on the plate. I figured this was going to happen back when they got released out of rehab on the 31st of November. Basically, it's all coming true now. Mom should have been placed back then too, but different things happened, and there were financial issues and things, which we still have financial issues, but now with only one instead of two, it's not as bad, but still, it's all just, coming to the surface, and it's been a lot on me being here by myself, trying to do it, and especially overnight, and being woken up, and not... Mom is one that would not listen anyways, so this is all just, hey, Janet, I hope you're doing good. I've heard your health was deteriorating too, and I'm glad to see you up and around again. And on Facebook, we missed you, girl. Jamie was telling me a couple little things about your health, and I'm glad you're going good again. So anyways, Mom's in hospice right now in the inpatient care unit. We're still waiting on what the doctors are saying, whether or not she rallies, if the meds are enough to keep her at a plateau where she can be managed and her symptoms can be managed outside of the care unit. And if that's the case, whether or not we'd have to have 100% 24-hour service here at the house, or whether or not placement would be feasible. Right now, placement probably is looking slightly cheaper, because if we were to get 24-hour people here to cover night shift and all that, that starts at $25 an hour. And we don't even pay Pearl that much, or Kathy, or any of that, because we don't have the funds for it. So, more than likely placement will be good. If placement does happen, more than likely she's not going to like it. If anybody knows Mom, she's a stickler. She does not want to be placed in any of those places. She wanted to be basically at the house and die at the house, which I get, but at the same time, when I'm here and I'm watching her deteriorate, it's not fair to me. And it's not fair to Gramp, for one. Watching your wife deteriorate I don't think she realized that when she said it and she was trying to figure out. Oh, thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Prayers for you too. And everybody else. So this Christmas and this Thanksgiving, it's basically just for me, this year has just been a day, because of all this other stuff that's been going on. So basically, this has actually also helped me realize that these holidays that are on specific days for us don't necessarily need to be on days, because it's just a date on a calendar. What we really need to be doing is having these Thanksgivings and these Christmases all throughout the year, every single day of our lives. Because just because we make sure that Christmas on the Christmas day or on Thanksgiving that we have all the friends and family around, and then we share our memories with them because we put our lives on hold for that one day or 124 hours. This situation that I'm in basically just blares out the idea of don't just make it one day. That's ridiculous. You never know what happens. I mean, do a little bit every day, kind of like... We've gotten so crazy with life now, and it's just been so go, work, take care of this, do that. We forget the whole basis of why we're here on this earth is to love each other and to spend time with each other and to just cherish what we have. And I think we're getting further and further away from that, unfortunately. So this is also one of those times where we just kind of like wake up. And I know a lot of people and a lot of my friends have had issues this year as well with people passing, friends, relatives. 2019 has just been one hell of a ringer year, guys, and I totally get it. But yeah, it's definitely a different way of doing it. And then I've been going through a lot of other things too with a friend of mine who was like in a relationship. I was in a relationship with a person, and then we kind of held off and became friends afterwards, and then I needed help and they didn't really help me, or they didn't choose to or whatever, so I had to break it off completely. And that's been one of the hardest things for me to do, because for 3.5 years I relied on this person, and then when push comes to shove, it just kind of fell apart. Yeah, right? So I'm like, no, I'm strong. I can do this. I don't need anybody outside of that to do that. I got the support. I got my cat. I got my brother, my older brother, my younger brother, my other immediate family, and friends like Pearl and things like that. So it's just like, it's funny how we put, it's funny how we put our stock in our lives in other people. Like, we're like, oh, well, you're my significant other, and if without you, my life's gonna fall apart. So, and I get it. It's a twofold thing, and that's a lot, but it's not. Your life won't fall apart. Yes, you'll have a big hole in your heart, and you'll have an emptiness for sure. But we are all individually strong. We made it before we met them, and we'll make it after. Some cases, some people die of broken hearts. Gramp more than likely will, because he literally is dependent on her, and she was his life. So the thing is, it's just, but he's 95, so I mean, like, he might as well, because he's lived a good life. I mean, they went to Europe, they used to go cross-country skiing, we went on all the trips when we were kids to Myrtle Beach. There's lots of memories, lots of happy memories, and those are what I'm actually, oh, thank you, John, I appreciate that. Hug! A lot of that is what I'm focusing on now when it's really hard and I'm trying to figure out what to do. I mean, I've got my essential oils, I've got, my music, my cat, my therapy cat, being able to actually go to work, and get away from it, even though it is work, are also, and then like my showers and things, and the fact that it is warm outside in New York City, not New York City. It's like 50 degrees to 40 degrees here, which is crazy for, New York about now in December, especially for this whole week. We have green grass. So I'm loving it because that helps me cope, because green grass in spring is what I use to help me get out of sadness and things like that. So this actually also helps me not be as in a hole as I would be, so to speak. So I just keep holding on to those memories of, like, when we went to Myrtle Beach, when my younger brother was with us, and different things like that. When Grandpa, he gave us those shirts, and we were able to go and watch the whales, and Eric got sick on the boat, and I got kind of sick too, but not bad. All those good ones. Or like when we go to Christmas for my uncle's house, where my uncle used to live, things like that. Stuff that, like, really, brings the happiness. And it's hard. I'm not lying, dude. I mean, if anybody's going through it, which I'm pretty sure most of you probably even have, and if you haven't, unfortunately, I think you're probably gonna end up having to go through it at some point in your life. So, that's what I'm just advising people. It's how we cope that makes us strong. Some people can, some people can't. I mean, but we all are, yeah. Yeah, I know, John. Mary. The cats are awesome, and the weather, it's pretty when it's snowing and it's nice and big flakes and falling down, but when she had to be put in the ambulance, it was actually nice because it helped. We wouldn't have been able to do all that we could do and get the bed in and everything if the weather was shitty. That would have been a whole nother fiasco. And for that, anyway, it's the holiday. So this even though it kind of didn't work out, it did work out to a degree, that way. So, our renter also just, lost her mother too recently, so she's dealing with that as well. I mean, a lot of people, like, a ton of my other friends just lost people too. I mean, this is just the season where God's calling people home. It's a new age. The energy is completely different, out there, if you guys felt it. And a lot of people, they're like, doesn't feel like Christmas this year. There's just something different. It's almost like it's being offset, that maybe in January we'll feel more Christmassy or something. I don't know. It's very odd. There's definitely a different change in the energy and how, and people are feeling it, like everybody. And I don't know if it's just the fast-pacedness of our world and the consumerism and all that, or if it's just the fact that, more of us are actually standing up for what we believe in, and we're not, I got a bunch of people that are like, I'm not going to work and busting my butt for little to no pay during the holiday when I'm going to be missing, opportunities to make memories with my family and friends. I mean, it's just really when you got to open up your eyes and things like that. How much are we going to take of the corporate system and the way to be the gerbil or the hamster on the wheel type of a thing. Yes, we have to make a living, we have to make money, but we don't have to sacrifice ourselves, because if we die tomorrow, they'll just get another person. There's millions of people out there, guys. I had that with my job at Beals. They would tell me to drive in during a snow band here in East Aurora, and they wouldn't pay for my ticket, even though there was a snow band. But I had to basically have a incident, which if you got 7 incidents, you're fired. So I'm like, you're giving me an incident, even though it's not my problem that I'm coming in here, and yet if I died on my way in, you'd still replace me. And they're like, yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So we have to remember where our stock lies, and we have to remember who we're doing this for. If we're doing it for somebody that doesn't really care, and the company that doesn't really care for us, reorganize your lives. Rethink about stuff. I know if you can find a way to do something else. I know it's scary starting from scratch and doing stuff. But like I said, they could lay you off tomorrow. Longevity and loyalty to a company doesn't exist anymore. It's very rare. People don't care now. They're like, oh, you've been here too long. I had a friend who had something to do with like 15 years they were working someplace. And they're like, well, you're here working here longer than 5 years. It's time for you to go. And they're like, dude, isn't loyalty something that you want in a company? You want to make sure this person is loyal to you so that they're going to, do stuff for you. Apparently now with the new people, it doesn't work that way. Things are changing hardcore. And so a lot of this is also what's going on, and it's a lot of things that I'm thinking about, especially now with people leaving the physical plane. My dog's going crazy. Anytime somebody's walking, this is what happens. He's a Pomeranian Spitz mix, so he's a little yippy. But anyway, so this is what's going on with Mom. If she does decide to rally and make it, more than likely she'll have to be placed, and then it'll be kind of hard going that way. And then the estate will have to be, dealt with that way or stuff. So that's one reason why I'm also looking for alternative financial avenues, working my business, doing things like that. I'm doing a blitz from January until March because I'm like, 2020, I'm going to make my year. And I can't keep putting myself out there and pouring out of my cup when it's not even full. So basically, I need to start putting myself first. Yeah, I know, John. I know, right? That's also why I think a lot of people are selling stuff on Etsy, all these pop-up things. That's why Amazon is doing so well, even though that's a whole nother story I'm not going to get into. Monopoly. That's all I'm going to say. And like these little like stores, the brick and mortar stores are going obsolete. Because that's just the way our companies are going. More people are getting into entrepreneurship like me, or things like that. A lot of new people are thinking of new ways of getting financial independence. So a lot of these new things, the way we used to live in the world is pretty much crumbling around us. So it's time for new ways of doing things. Especially with the fact that the health of a lot of Americans is deteriorating so rapidly because of all the other processed foods and stuff, which I'm not going to get into in this video because it's mainly for Mom and her health. But, that's also probably a bunch of complications of what's going on too, like all the medicines and stuff she's on and things like that. But yeah, so we'll see. They want to see how she's doing over the weekend. We'll figure that out. I'm going to have the meeting on Monday, and then I'll keep you guys posted. So yeah, that's the update. That's why I haven't been on lately. The only reason I'm able to do this live is because Gramps still sleeping. Otherwise, I'd have to be downstairs with the TV on and him watching me and things like that. So I basically have hardly any time to myself anymore. And when I do, I'm usually at work. So I will keep you guys updated, and I'm going to go drink my tea to keep me awake. So, everybody have a happy new year if I don't talk to you by Wednesday. Thank you again for staying, on here and watching me. Like I said, hop onto YouTube, find me on YouTube because, like I said, I don't know about Facebook and all their weird things, but I upload all this stuff to YouTube. So, subscribe to my channel on YouTube. It's Jennifer Lynn Hawley or Jennifer Hawley. I'm not exactly sure offhand what it is. But, and then hit the little bell and click all notifications so that anytime I upload something, you'll be able to, find it out and then watch this. And even if you're catching this on the replay versus the live, that'll be good too. Because like I said, with Facebook going the way Facebook's going, I'm not sure if there's going to be changes going forward or if there's going to be people. I've already heard stories about people who speak their own voice or being clamped down on, regardless of what direction your views are or whatever. So there's something weird going on with Facebook around in the background. I don't know what, but I just know a lot of people are having issues. So yeah, alright, I will talk to you guys later. Love, light, and blessings. Namaste. Thank you again. Bye.